Hi there. So, I wanted to talk today about what three things I learned as an entrepreneur. Hi, I'm Lisa Lamy, and I'm a self taught artist based out of St. Albert, Alberta, Canada. And I encourage women to find their creative side. And in doing so, find more peace and joy in their lives than they ever thought possible. So, back to the three things that I learned as an entrepreneur so far. First and foremost, I cannot say how important community is to you as an artist. Um, I have grown so much, and it was the result of the community. I know we've heard that expression about it takes a village to raise a child. Well, it takes a village to raise an artist. And I have no idea where I'd be without all the incredible direction that I've received, not only from my business coach, um, but also the support from my husband and all these other memberships that I'm a part of that I have derived so much value out of. I find that in a world that can be very competitive, I have come across the most incredible human beings that are there to lift you up and support you. And I think that what I not I think I know that's what's necessary as an entrepreneur or an entrepreneur. I like to call it entrepreneur. It is absolutely critical to your survival to have that kind of support because you can't do it alone. And I soon realized that it wasn't that far into my journey when I realized I needed to seek the support of a business coach to help me get on track. And I've never regretted that. So, in the development of my digital course that I'm trying to create, I really want to emphasize community because, again, we learn so much from one another, and to think that you can do otherwise is just wrong. So, in terms of the other item, the second point I wanted to get across is that it's all about consistency. As a entrepreneur, you have to show up every day. Um, and I also don't want to say it's like being this hustle culture either, because you also have to be, as well as being consistent and persistent, you've got to look after yourself. And we're only human and we have a lot going on in our lives aside from trying to build a business. So at any point when you need to slow down and just stop, you need to do that. And I've had to do that a number of times along the way. And if you have a good support system, as I do, then you'll get a gentle nudge from your husband, in my case, to say, why don't you crack out your art supplies? I mean, that's the whole reason you are starting this business, is to help teach others about getting in touch with their artistic side. And you've had your head down and you've been all business about your business, which is important. But he also knows um, what peace I derive. I mean, I talk about it. That's my mission statement. And those are words that I need to remind myself of from time to time, because once I do immerse myself in my art, honestly, I'm transported somewhere else. And I think we just need to get out of our own heads. But again, back to like business, you have to be as consistent as you can be. And that sometimes you can do on your own, but sometimes you'll need that support system to get you there. So that at times can be definitely a challenge, especially when one day sort of blends into the next and you feel a little bit like you're out of the scene of that movie. I don't know if you're familiar with that Groundhog Day, where every day it's just you get up and it's the same thing. So that is something that I find there are times where I forget what day it is and I have to ask my husband. And then he'll remind me that that maybe is a sign that you need to take a break. And thirdly, embrace the fact that you're never going to be an expert at anything. You're going to be a very much a generalist. You're going to know a lot about a lot of things. That's one thing that has been a constant. It's learning. And I have taken so many programs, so many courses, and I have really benefited from all of them. Not only do I take them for the content they provide, it also gives me sort of an idea as to teaching styles other people have and how maybe I could adopt some of those principles that they use as part of how I'm building out my course. Again, we can learn so much from one another. But learning, I think there's many entrepreneur that will tell you that they don't feel like it's just an obligation. There's a eagerness to learn, and I can say that I've learned so much about email marketing, learning ConvertKit, and again, I'm just touching the surface in terms of that. But learning how to use a platform that would support my course, which is Thinkific. And now using StreamYard to help with live streaming, everything from just get-togethers once I establish my course, doing interviews, you name it. StreamYard has been amazing. And the fact too is that you can live stream to a number of platforms at one time. So again, I at times have to sit back and think of, goodness, I have learned so much and I've grown so much since last November, since I quit my corporate job. There are times, like no question, that I wonder, I walked away from a full-time permanent job with good benefits to an uncertain future. But those moments are fleeting, because there's one thing that is obvious to not just me, my husband, and those around me, is just how much I'm passionate about entrepreneurship. And yes, I'm all in when it comes to work. But I'm so empowered by all the people that I get to meet along the way. So there's no question that this has been something that it was what I needed, and it came at the right time. And in me sharing all this with you, I would like to know, one, if you join me via a replay or a live broadcast, and let me know about some of the points that I touched on. I'd like to know, what kind of communities are you involved with, and has that helped you? Also, maybe tell me about some courses that you've taken along the way, and what you've learned from them, and just some credible people that you've maybe met along the way that have done just a huge service to you, and lifted you up when you needed that. I just love hearing those stories, because they are out there, and we tend to only focus on sometimes the negative stuff out there. But I can tell you from firsthand experience, I've met such incredible women out there that aren't about competition. They in fact feel like that they have learned from someone else, and they want to pass those lessons on. So I really do appreciate you taking the time to join me today, whether you're joining me live or on the replay. And I look forward to talking to you again about a host of other topics. You know, the art's going to be coming up, but I'm all about entrepreneurship and other topics that I think really are just something that you will embrace as well. But I'd like to hear what you would like to have in upcoming shows. So a way to reach out to me, you can get a hold of me by just going to my website at lisalamyart.com, and you can see that scrolling across the screen. And there's a place there where you can leave your first name and an email, and I would be more than happy to send along a newsletter. I put one out every week where I talk about what's been going on in my world, and just my plans for the future, along with some a colored pencil course that I will soon be bringing out into the world, that if you're thinking of dabbling in another medium, that might be something you'd want to check out. So until next time, have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.